this was less clunky. This felt nicer because that's what we do, we get projects done. These are what we're keeping. All right, chaturanga into upward facing dog. We got this. We are Brett and Jade Evans. We decided to go for our dreams and purchased this wrecked sailboat. We're working hard to restore it and to document the journey with new episodes every week. Subscribe and join us on our greatest expedition yet.
We're days away from getting the keel remounted. The inside and outsides of the hull are glassed and faired, and we think Jade even got 11 of the 11 holes in the right place. The last step is to clean up the edges of the freshly drilled holes and give them a bit of a chamfer.
Now that we have the holes drilled through the bottom, we gotta move on to the next step, which is to chamfer the edges. So basically, at the bottom of the hole, we have a 90-degree angle. We're gonna come in and we're gonna make that a 45. Just giving it that taper. It's called chamfering. What it does is it gives a little more surface area for that 5200 to grab onto, which is gonna make a better seal. Just a good thing to do. As we learn with the whole saw scenario, it's really important to have the right tool for the job, especially initially. It'll save you a lot of time, make things a lot nicer. Fortunately, there is such thing as a chamfering bit. Unfortunately, I can't find one in the right size. So instead, I've got this guy. It's a grinding point. I'm just gonna try to do it by hand. I also have this guy if the grinding point doesn't work out. So this one, I'll just kind of go in the bottom, go around the top and just do it. This one, I'll put through the entire hole, tilt it, and then go around, and it'll get both the top and the bottom at the same time. In theory, either one should work. We're gonna find out. I'm gonna try them both, I guess, at the beginning. We'll see which one works better, and go with that. Let's do it. It is a beautiful, rainy day, which mostly means it's not just a million degrees outside. So I'm gonna suit up. As soon as I'm done chamfering, I'm gonna get the sander. I'm gonna sand all those peaks and valleys down, I guess just the peaks.
I saw the city passing by my window. Was in the crowd, but I felt so alone. Looked at my phone like every other second. My future was blurry and numb, a tunnel where there's no light. Oh, but then you came and sat right next to me. Your eyes, they glowed and filled me up. We had never met before time, but I just knew that we'd end up.
Okay, after trying them, I think this guy takes the cake because here's going around with that. Here's going around with the bit. I don't know if you can see very, oh, here, yeah, you can kind of see. The bit just felt difficult to get it to be a nice taper and just more clunky. This was less clunky. This felt nicer. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and continue with this. This will take a while, so time lapse.
Stepped into my life, such a magic feeling. We tore down my walls. I wish I could go back to right before you told me I'd try to change it all. But look at us now, could have gone so far. It hurts to realize we're parted. Yeah, look at us now, this is who we are.
That went super well. That my bandana is gone. I think it's been eaten, but found it. Okay, on to sanding.
Our life is an insane and wonderful journey, and we absolutely love creating these videos and sharing them with you on YouTube. But there is one aspect of the YouTube journey that we weren't expecting or prepared for and that we haven't shared. And that is the sheer amount of hate and personal attacks that we receive on a daily basis. To be very clear, I am not talking about constructive criticism, suggestions, or even the I would have done that differently comments. I love those comments. We love those comments, and we have learned so much from you and so much from this community, as have others. What I am talking about are the comments that get caught in the YouTube filters because of their rhetoric and profanities, and so they never actually make it to the public. I'm talking about the Instagram and Facebook DMs and the crazies that stalk us down in real life and make me grateful that Dingo has a bite worse than his bark. I'm talking about the people telling us that they hope we sink and die, and blaming us for hypothetical young couples that will first bankrupt themselves and then also sink and die because of seeing our channel. I'm talking about body shaming, threats of sexual assault, actual sexual harassment, the accusations that we are freeloaders on welfare, accusations that we are freeloaders on daddy's money, and accusations that we are freeloaders on all of you. But the most common of all the hate are the attacks on me for being a young woman in a man's industry. These ones really rocked my world because it crashed against the reality I've existed in for all 22 years of my life. I have 4 sisters, and the 5 of us were raised by a single mom. This is her, 8 months pregnant with me, as a first-generation college student graduating with her doctorate's degree. She never once told us, you can do anything a man can do, because the concept that being female made us less capable and therefore needing a qualifier didn't exist in our reality. We all just were, and we all just did. We traveled and adventured and played. We fixed plumbing and ran electric and laid tile and re-shingled roofs. We did all of that, and we all still do today. Here's a picture of an awesome treehouse my sister built last year. My mom taught us a million different skills, but the most important thing that I ever learned from her came from her just existing in this world as the remarkable individual that she is. So when we launched this channel, I didn't have any idea, for one, that people would be surprised at who I am, and I definitely didn't expect an onslaught of hate because of my gender. Full transparency for all of you guys. After posting Monday's video, I seriously considered taking down our entire channel. We don't need to make YouTube videos. So why should we be spending our energy creating these videos just to invite this hate and heartache into our home when we could go on an adventure without any social media at all and have the happiest life privately to ourselves? But here's the thing. I love documenting and editing and sharing it all with you. I love the sailing and the boat work and the adventures, and I love interacting with the thousands of you that are here and supporting us and feeling inspired and happy when you watch our videos. Making you guys smile on the Friday we post our videos brings me a lot of joy, and the idea that I've been able to film and edit and capture these moments for us to look back on is just awesome. So while I know I can never change the haters, I will never change their mind, I also know I don't have to let them change me. They don't get to devalue who I am, they don't get to take away my joy, and they sure as hell cannot take away the drive and ambition and passion that my mother gave me. We love you guys. We love this community. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support and for subscribing and for joining the journey. All right, guys, it is a hot one today, but we're gonna work anyway because that's what we do. We get projects done. Okay, the boat is ready for the keel. Poles are cut. We've got it all chamfered. Everything's ready. We've got the threaded rods, we've got the bolts, so now we just gotta wait for the slings. Now when we go up in the slings, I would also like to get our rudder on, because otherwise we're gonna have to dig a hole to put it on. It'd be easier to get on all in one go. But here's the problem, is that Brett and I, delegation is the wrong word, we split up tasks, and he did all of the rudder disassembly himself. He took care of that. So I have to learn about our rudder really quick, which is a good thing. I just need to learn the anatomy of our rudder. So I've been reading the diagrams, trying to figure out what I do. Most of the things that we're gonna need to do need to be done the day it goes on, because we're gluing things in and everything. But just hit my hat. This can go on. Mostly I need to just make sure I have a good understanding of everything before it comes time to do the install. So down in the lazarette we go. Over the last couple weeks, we've been sanding the bottom in between projects. We are going to make that its own dedicated video. But to give you guys some context, on this particular day, I had just spent about 5 hours in the hot sun sanding the bottom of the boat, which is why I seem quite tired. I accidentally overheated myself and made myself a little bit sick. Alright, chaturanga into upward facing dog. I got this. Okay. I should have brought a light with me. That would have been very helpful for you guys. How's this for light? Alright, loves. I opened that other lazarette, so we have a little bit more light coming in here. I also went and grabbed our little LED light that we got. I love this light in real life, but when it comes to filming, the shutter speed at which I'm filming does not quite match up with the I mean, it's not a shutter speed, I guess, like the flash rate. There's probably a word for that. What's the word for it? How often it emits light. And it creates this bar that goes across the street. Anyway, so it's a little dark. I'm sorry about that, but I assure you it's less annoying than that little bar. Shall we learn together now? Let's learn things. For starters, here's the wrench. Gotta love that man. He left it in here for us, save us a trip. That has to do with this. This nylon piece, I'm not sure what it's called, needs to be replaced, and so does this copper bushing. I know that I need to take these out, and I also know that I need to learn what everything is called, because I think at this point I understand what everything does, but I don't know what everything is called, so I don't know how to explain it to you guys. I'm going to take these out, and then I'm going to go charge my phone so that I can look at my PDF that I have, so that I can learn the names of everything. That way I can explain things better to you guys. But for now, I'm going to take out the nylon piece and the copper piece. I'm pretty sure this is the upper bearing and the upper collar. I think that's what they're called, but we shall fact check that for sure. I'm going to need to go get tools. This was easier when Brett could be in here and I just went and got all his tools for him. Okay, and then there's the... Okay. I'm gonna come back tonight when it's not so bloody hot, because I can't see down there anyway without light. So might as well do it in the dark. And in the meantime, I'm gonna find other things to work on. Because we didn't close up the hole at the bottom when we ground down all of the paint, all the anti-fouling, it was slightly coating everything in there, and now it's slightly coating me, which is really terrible to have on your skin because it's literally poison. So I'm gonna wash it off really quick because it is itchy. I'm going to take the old backing plates from when we took the keel off and clean them up. They are still perfectly good, so we're gonna reuse them. Backing plates, let's grab them. They're back here. Backing plates. Uno. Alright, so each of our previous keel bolts have a backing plate and a washer. So, my heart's really getting away from all my fun today. These are what we're keeping. This is what we're throwing out and replacing. And also the nuts we're replacing. So these guys, some of them have a little bit of rust or a little bit of corrosion, so I'm just going to need to take them and clean them all up. I think I will start, maybe like just spraying them down with the hose because they're covered in fiber dust. Yeah, fiberglass dust. Okay, this is a slightly lighter basket. Okay. Oh, wonderful. We have clouds on the horizon, which means a significant, at least like 5-degree drop in temperature later today, which will be nice when we journey back down the rabbit hole. Okay. Guess who forgot their phone? Definitely not me. I really like this little town we live in. It is such a gem.
princesses are out of a fairy tale. It's just lovely. It's lovely here.
It took getting into the car, getting the AC going, and just sitting down and staying still for a minute for me to finally accept the fact that I gave myself a minor case of heat exhaustion and definitely a case of dehydration. This is the last clip I filmed this day because as soon as I got into the hotel room, I got in a cold shower, got in bed, and just slept until the morning. But the morning is when Brett gets back from his work trip, so a lot of work is about to get done in the next video. Make sure you guys are subscribed and stay tuned for that.
Hi, Keepy girl. Hi, Keepy boy.
I think it's safe to assume we're all very ready to see if all of our hard work was in vain. Next week, we find out if the keel lines up or if it's back to grinding.